All right, guys, this is Nerd, and we are back with another Raid Shadow Legends free-to-play mystery shard only run video. Today, we're going to be looking at the Halloween event. Yeah, if you want to call it that, the Halloween fusion. But here's where we're at. We're at 92 mystery shards. We're at 1,100. Not 100. 1,011 ancient shards, 221 voids, 27 primals, and 69 sacreds. All right, so this fusion, you are trying to get Gretel. I guess this is Gretel. Now, the two heroes that you're going to try to pull here, which actually is nice. It's not one of the fragment summons, which I know a lot of people like them better. I actually happen to like this better just because I don't have to build these guys and I just get free heroes. That's why I like it. The fragment summons, it doesn't really, it's obviously easier. You don't have to do any fusing or any of that stuff. You just got to get the fragments. This one, yeah, I like these better. Now you get a little bit of a pig man here. He's got a little pig helmet. This guy is Dented the Tusk Knight. So he looks all right. Let's see what he's about. He attacks one enemy, has a 30% chance of placing a provoke debuff for one turn. So that's good. A provoke on an A1 is never bad. Attacks all enemies, has a 25% strengthen buff on all allies, so that's actually really cool, and it's an AoE. And he places a shield buff on him for 2 turns, equal to 10% of this champion's max HP when hit by an enemy under a provoke debuff. I mean, his kit is so simple, but I feel like he would actually be good as long as his multipliers are good on his attack here, and it's based on defense, which means he'll stay alive. That's the good news. So basically, he's just a provoker, tanker, and that's it. He's there to stay alive, and that's it. I wouldn't have a problem building him. Actually, I actually don't mind him. He's not perfect, but he's not bad. This one, when I click this button, Signy of the High Shield HP hero, um, I didn't expect it to look like this. It's just so funny. And it looks like she has a mustache, the way they highlighted her upper lip. So it's a little weird. It looks like she's like got a grandpa mustache when you're looking at her from far away. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. But let's see if she's good. Let's see what she does. So her A1 attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 25% chance of placing a 50% decreased resistance debuff, so that's okay. Each hit also heals this champion by 20% of the damage inflicted. That's not bad. I actually, and the good news is her damage is based on HP, which basically means that you can give her high HP. She's going to do more damage with the HP, and she's going to heal more with the HP. So honestly, that's actually a really good skill. Attacks all enemies before attacking, has a 75% chance of removing one random debuff from all allies. I thought it was gonna be buff. After the attack, has a 75% chance of removing a random buff from all enemies. That is a really sick skill, actually. I'm not gonna lie, because it's an AOE. It removes buffs, debuffs. We're gonna drink some tea. It removes debuffs from them, from you, and buffs from the guys. So that's actually a really good skill. Places a 50% increased resistance buff and a 30% reflect damage buff on all allies for 2 turns. It's good. It's good. It's not bad. You could, for Fire Knight, probably a really good skill. And when this champion is under the reflect damage buff and an enemy attempts to place a debuff, has a 25% chance to reflect the debuff back. I mean, she's a nuisance tank. I actually don't mind that. And she's got the reflect damage. So, I mean, like I said, she's got a reasonable kit. I feel like it would be good. I just wish she didn't, look like this. I don't know. They're usually pretty good with their designs. This one's just really funny, and the bandana just sells it. I love it. All right, let's see. Greta. Let's see if she is as good as they say. Now, I'll be honest. This is a pretty cool character design. All right, like I like that ninja kind of thing. It's funny that she's Sacred Order. She almost looks like she would be in the Shadowkin, to be honest. But yeah, let's see what she does. Attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. If Hansel is on the same team, attacks all enemies instead, has a 25% chance of placing a 60% decreased debuff on all enemies. Also places an extra hit against enemies under any buffs. Like, literally goes from being what I would consider to be a somewhat stupid and useless skill. Um, and I don't mean useless, like it's not good. Having a 60% decreased defense on one enemy is okay, but it's like an epic skill. But then this turns it into a nightmare skill. So like, but this means you have to have both. You know what I mean? So if you don't get both, it's going to be bad. All right, attacks one enemy 4 times. That's really good. The first hit will ignore 10% of the target's defense, and the second hit will ignore 15% of the target's defense, so 20, the fourth 25. If this attack kills an enemy, resets cooldown of this skill and fills the champion's turn meter by 50%. That's awesome as well, and that's probably going to hit insanely hard. 4 times, and it's going to ignore defense more and more each hit. That's the first time I've seen a skill, I think, where the damage gets higher. So like the first hit will be the lowest attack. So each hit's going to progressively get stronger. So that's actually kind of cool. Attacks all enemies, decreases the turn meter of all enemies by 25%. That's a reasonable skill just by itself. If Hansel Witch Hunter is on the same team, decrease the turn meter of all enemies by 50% instead. This effect cannot be resisted. Then fills this champion's turn meter by 20% for each enemy alive after the attack. So now is this part of this, or is this something secondary? I'm not really. It's not really explained well because it comes after. So I don't know if this is if you have to have Hansel for this. But if you don't, that's pretty cool. But if you do, yeah, once again, it just turns a pretty decent skill into a freaking ridiculous skill. All right, passive. Fills this champion's turn meter by 50% whenever an enemy is granted an extra turn. If Hansel Witch Hunter is on the same team, also fills their turn meter by 50% whenever an enemy is granted an extra turn. If Hansel is on the same team and is killed by the enemy, instantly activates Sacred Ritual skill, which is what? This one? No? This one. Sacred Ritual. Attacks all enemies. Okay. So that's not bad. I'll take it. And she has an attack in all battles by 30%. Okay, that's cool. Let's put it this way. By herself, I I don't hate her, but I don't care. Like she's a whatever hero. You have to have both in order to make this work. So yeah, there's that. But in and of itself, if you're bored and you really want to go for this, I mean, go ahead. That's fine. Uh, I don't really think she's that great without the other one. So if you don't think you're gonna be able to get Hansel, she's essentially a wasted spot on your team, except for the turn meter drop. That's kind of cool. It might be good for like a nuker or someone for Fire Knight. Otherwise, it's really the only places I can think of. There are drop events. I don't know. I just wanted to see what it was. All right. So just so you guys know, we did do once again. We did do the dungeons because, like I said, we're trying to do our ascensions. All right. So we are working on that, which is why we did this upgrade ascend. So that's why we have 4,000 potions now. We literally, we got all that free stuff for Halloween, and it was like 150, I think, auto battles. So basically, I was like, you know what? I got like 4,000 energy. I'm like, we're just gonna do Sand Devil the entire time. So I skipped masteries for that day, and I literally just put it on auto. And I ended up finishing the tournament. So there you go. 3,400. We can actually start ascending some gear again. So that's kind of nice. Also good for our daily quests. But yeah, we definitely did it all, and we will also get some pulls. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to do the pulls. In case you guys were wondering, I figured we would do the Halloween stuff first. So we did get our prism pull, and we did get this. So hopefully this gives us something reasonable, because honestly, what's our wish list looking like? I'll take. I'll actually. I would take a 6-star Mithral, but I don't want to get her again if it's a thing. He's good. She's good. I think all of my legendary heroes have blessings. We did put Sez on here. You know what? We never get the wish list anyway, so let's just go. Let's just see what we get. Let's see if we get something reasonable here. Well, what do we got? It's a rare Guardian, a 3-star Guardian. Well, it's better than the 2-star Guardian we have now, and I think we have to build him anyway. So I'm mad. It's not what I wanted, but it's not bad. All right, and then we also have a Prism Shard that we can summon, because that's going to be the end of this. Oh, wow, they're really pushing that Halloween money. All right, summon pool. So fun story. We actually already got a pull from this, and I was like, oh, I'll just pull it, because I don't remember what tournament or what I got it for. I forgot what it was. Well, we got the pieces, and I pulled it, and funny enough, we got this hero again. All right. I have pulled this hero 3 times from the Prism Shards. So now we have a plus, actually, yeah, 3, because we got 1 from the fusion. So I now have a +3 Asima. But now we're going to do 1 pull on here. We're going to do it on the video so you guys can actually see it. I'm hoping we get something that we just don't have already. I mean, do I care if it's a legendary? No. I just want somebody I don't have already. I'll be honest, I really want Frankenstein. Frankenstein and Magma. These two I would really be cool with having in my vault. Let's see what we got. Give me Frankenstein, baby. That's what I want. Oh, what is this? Farix. I don't even know what this is. This is, I don't know. She looks like, I already hate her. Like just looking at her, I hate her. Attacks one enemy, has a 40% chance of placing a 50% Decrease attack debuff for 2 turns. Huh, all right, that's not bad on an A1. Attacks one enemy, inflicts 100% more damage against targets without any buffs. Okay, that's interesting enough. And attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 50% chance of stealing a random buff from the target. Attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 50% chance of stealing a random buff from the target. It also places block debuff. Yeah, this hero is garbage. Like straight trash. All right, let's put her in the vault and never look at her again because that is just trash. I don't even know why she's even in the game. That's how bad she is. Oh man, let's get rid of her. So that was depressing. Well, at least we got a guardian, right? So champion, vault, reserve, and say goodbye to Farix that you will never see again because we don't care about her. Even if I start using these heroes in the vault, you will never see her again. All right, done. So what have we been working on? Well, we've been working on my boy here, Smith. I think we also, yeah, we finished Says, so we just need to get his masteries done, right? Yeah. So we're just going to work on his masteries. I decided we are going to be doing offense, defense. He doesn't need accuracy, so we'll be running through those two. We did get his skills done. We just need a blessing on him. I'm really hoping we can find a blessing in the altar because then we can just buy it. Do we have 40 coins? No, we don't. I would say I can get a Thea split soul. Yeah, it looks like we don't have it. I'm just gonna kind of wait for Says to pop up and buy them for 7 coins. So we'll see how that goes. It's not really super crazy. There's a bunch of events going on. We did do the what is it? The tournaments. So we finished. What did we finish? I don't even know if we're like. Did I get a reward? I probably did actually because I did run the whole thing, right? Most people aren't doing it. There is champion chase. So we do need to start getting these guys because I'd like to get at least what we have to get 5 copies, I guess, right? So we're champion chasing. Oh, we actually got 50 coins for that pull, so that's nice. I'll take it. Um, we're not going to get this one, so we're definitely not getting the champion chase hero. So we do got Ice Golem tournament, which we have to do. All right, so we're probably going to end up doing Ice Golem. I like to do the tournaments early, like these kinds, because I don't really like to do the dungeon ones. So I just do one dungeon one as soon as it comes out because there's nothing else out yet. So we're just going to do this one, probably get him. And then the arenas will probably end up getting us the rest of them or champion training. There is a tag team of arena event thing going on here. But once again, it's you'll get it just from doing it. We have 1 day and 22 hours. So I'll probably just run through some tag team and maybe get these because these coins wouldn't be bad to have. Yeah, say we have classic arena takedown, which is going to be nice and easy. So we'll definitely get one from there. Oh, and then we'll try to level up all those heroes once we get the champion training thing going. Actually, this is going right now, champion training. So we'll just level up those heroes as much as possible. Looks like we're going to have to skip on Says for just a little bit. I like that this has this. Champion training is going to be really hard, I think. 6,000 points, really? That is freaking ridiculous for, yeah, this is why I've been skipping the champion trainings, to be honest. Like, a lot of them are ridiculously high now. Like, I just do the arena stuff and get my heroes and then forget this thing even existed. And honestly, it's sad to say, but artifact enhancement is actually becoming an easier event to complete now because I'm able to save a little bit more money and I have a bunch of gear that I just sell off. So, like, doing one of the artifact enhancements, both arenas and then the tag team maybe, is more than enough to kind of get a few. And then I only got to do one dungeon run. So it's actually been kind of nice that I don't do the champion training ones because they're a lot harder and take more time. Unless I'm actually leveling a hero, in which case, yeah, sure. All right, so great. All right, so what are we doing now? All right, so basically we have gotten through a lot of stuff. Actually, the clan boss just reset too, so we're gonna get some free stuff here. I want to see what we get. I'm actually kind of on the Halloween stuff here. Like it's sad. It's what it is. I don't feel like it's Halloween. I feel like they just kind of did whatever. Here, you can see me actually do this. This is how long it takes me to do clan boss, guys. I want you to see this because it takes a long time, all right? And this is why I don't fight Ultra Nightmare. This is why I don't do a Ultra Nightmare. This literally takes me 10 seconds and I no longer do. There you go. Clan boss is done. We don't have to worry about it. And we got 72 million damage. See that? Oh, this is honestly the greatest thing I think ever. It is my favorite thing ever. All right. So as far as what's going on now, Doom Tower, we're working into hard mode. We were able to beat, I think, the first area. Yeah. So we're moving into here. And I think, if I remember correctly, Yeah, we'll just start this. So this is the team we were actually talking about this for Doom Tower on the live stream as far as like what heroes we're going to use, and this team seems to work pretty well for hard mode. I believe I haven't had much trouble. There's like I think one or two fights that I have to control just because the second wave is ridiculously strong. And for some reason, always gets their turns off and then wipes out my whole team. But that's like one or two fights that are just randomly hard. It's not like every fight is like that. Most of the Doom Tower fights that we do pretty much go the way you're going to see this fight going right now. We just kind of run through. If someone gets unkillable, we've got Gerda to remove it. We've also got Arbiter that can remove those things. So there's nothing. It's funny that the one thing about Doom Tower that was stopping me was I would put it on auto and there would be a team that goes unkillable, and so many of my heroes have removed turn meter that they would just be unkillable forever. And that was it. So I would come back and the fight would be going for like 20 minutes. And I'd be like, what the hell's going on? And they're just fighting one person who's unkillable. So yeah, they put those in there just to piss you off. So you have to have at least one or two heroes that will automatically remove debuffs regardless of the HP of the enemy. Because sometimes they'll just auto use their A1 when somebody has low HP. And if that's the case, you may never use your skill. Now, Gerda doesn't really do that. She uses her other skills and she will remove, so that's kind of nice. Let's get some tea. Delicious. It is so good. Yeah, but basically, this whole team works really well. You've got decreased turn meters, you've got shields, you've got removals, you've got some heals. That's the only thing about this team that's a little weird. You're banking on the fact that everybody is going to be essentially stopped the whole time. So you're banking on the fact that people are going to petrify themselves because of the hex with Mithrala, that hopefully your Carl is going to freeze the entire team, that you're going to have a stun from Syl, like you're hoping for that. So there's really very little healing in this team. You've got Arbiter who can heal us with her attack up, but it only goes on heroes that are low HP. Like that, see that? And then you've got Syl who's low HP, and then basically we can just revive someone if they die. All right, so it's essentially you're just hoping that you're going to kick the crap out of them before they actually do anything, which obviously works as you're seeing. I was like, I figured we'll do some Doom Tower today. We'll show off some Doom Tower stuff. These fights take a little while, so that's why I try to. We're gonna turn auto climb. That's the other thing. If you can do auto climb, we'll do next. We'll do one more. Yeah, we'll do one more. We don't need to. We don't need to spend 30 minutes in here. We'll just show it off a little bit so you can kind of see how it works. And we actually had done this. Like I showed this way back in the beginning. I mean, we used the starting five to get through the waves, and I used them all the way up until the final boss. Like they were my wave clearers. So you can clear the waves with the starting five heroes. There's not like there's you just got to keep leveling them. That's it. Keep giving them gear. Keep giving them build. Boom. This is more of the advanced for hard mode. Um, Obviously, there's better heroes that can do this. There's heroes that can put up insane shields. I mean, Chris would probably be a really good hero to bring in here to keep you alive if you don't have Mithrala. More than likely, you have Mithrala instead of Chris. But remember, I don't know what Chris actually does. I just know he's good at keeping shields up. Uh, but Mithrala does have the Hex. Another option here, if you are not experiencing any trouble with getting through these fights and you want to speed them up, someone like Cleo could be a good option here, or Thea could be a good option here, just because they have those big AoEs that are based upon the Hex being up. So if there's a Hex up, Thea does like ridiculous damage. It's like 200% more damage. And then Cleo has the blocks and the locks and the fears. So you can pretty much just lock everybody out with Mithrala and her. And there you go. You've got the same kind of concept going on. The only difference is, I mean, if you don't have your Carl, you can use those two heroes. Um, Obviously, once again, your Carl's way easier to get than either one of those heroes, actually. Cleo, you'd have to be playing for, what is it? A year, I think you have to play, because it's 270 days. She's the first hero you get past Visix, right? So 270, and I think it's what, 4 months to get her, right? So yeah, you're talking over a year to get Cleo. If so, more than likely you'll have your Carl first, which is why I like this team. Like Gerda is the only one in here that's like technically replaceable if you're not worried about, if you're doing autos. Gerda's kind of helpful here. If you're not autoing, then I guess you can literally replace that fifth person with almost anyone because then you can slow down the fight. Well, you know what we'll do? We'll put Cleo in instead of Gerda just to show. Watch the fight that we get's going to be one where they go unkillable. I guarantee it. Because I love Gerda. I love Gerda. She does hit. She doesn't hit hard, but she hits good enough. She hits strong enough where she'll do some damage, and she can remove all those crap shields and stuff. And my favorite thing about it is that you can remove them without actually attacking. Oh, nice. We need a 4-star chicken. Let's go to next. Let's take Gerda out and put Cleo in. There you go. Let's do a more reasonable team. No, yeah, because she's a year, right? So it took me almost a year to get Mithrala. Actually, more than it took me a year to get Mithrala, but you can get her faster. So it's like this is a team that is reasonably good. Now you're really only just bringing in Yannicka for extra damage at this point. You're not going to have as much lock going on here. She really doesn't do that much in here, honestly. I don't like her except for Arena. Like she's really an Arena hero. Oh, there goes Yukar with his freeze. And it's funny because Arbiter just wastes her skills all the time. She's just like a skill waster. She's like, hey, you need a skill wasted? Well, call me in. Oh, everyone gets stunned. That's the other thing is that Gerda can remove those things from you. So if you get stunned, she can kind of pull them off. And Mithrala, although is a great hero, she does slow the fight down. Because those, oh, there, see, of course, and now we've got the unkillable. So this is a fight where you would want to not do auto, like you would take it off. Actually, you could. He just stunned it. We'll keep it on auto. But say if she gets that stun off, you're okay. And then freeze, so that's good. Now I think one of those guys can actually remove that stuff. I think this might be the fight where that happens. Let me see if they can get a turn. Got the hex, but he's going to go unkillable. Yep, see, there's the unkillable, and it's on everybody, which actually is better than on one hero because that way, not one hero is probably not going to get stuck. But this is why I said Gerda's better. So it's actually kind of good that we're seeing this because now you can see why I said we should do that. Now, at this point, hopefully the goal here would be that somebody gets a turn like him and gets his unkillable off. You can remove it and then no one else can get it back. See, now it's gone. Now the problem is if we have turn meter. There you go. He wasted his turn meter skill. That guy's dead. Hopefully he gets his turn. See right there, see she's getting extra turns, but she could have turn meter dropped him. And there you go, you Carl. All right, so now if that was your Carl's turn meter drop, we would be fighting this guy forever. We got lucky that time. That was a lucky turn. Was that Archmage again? Yeah. I forgot that Archmage even exists in here, like that you actually can fight him. I forget that you can fight all the enemies. Are there any enemies that you in the game where you actually can't get the hero? I believe every hero in the game is someone that you can get, right? But as you can see, it's also slower. Like this is a much slower fight without Gerda. Gerda weakens. Gerda does a reasonable AoE attack. Yannicka, although really strong for some reason, just doesn't have any oomph for this kind of stuff. But we also, like I said, built her for Arena. It's not like she's built for this kind of stuff. She doesn't have. I don't think she has ignore. What does she have? Ignore defense, or does she? I think she has ignore defense. Yeah, she's still hitting reasonably hard on that single target, so that's good. She's good for taking out one enemy. Ignore defense. That's what we're talking about. So there we go. Boom, floor 13. So yeah, you can switch out Gerda, but it's going to just make you have to kind of pay attention a little more. And then the last thing we'll do, let's go out of here. Let's go into normal mode. Let's go all the way to the end. All the way to the end. I don't even remember which team was up here. 119. It's funny that it's all my Legos. Like that's it. That's my team now. It just eventually migrated to that. At first it was Syl coming into the mix. And where's Valley? Where's my Valley girl? She's missing. There she is. We think we did speed to make sure we go faster. I think so. Yeah, let's try this. All right, so this is the final area of the game. All right, so this is the final level. Let's see what happens. I'm surprised he's not countering. Cupid always counters. Maybe he just wasn't in the mood. But yeah, you can totally use these guys. It's fine. Like it's funny because I know a lot of people might. There's actually people like I know I struggled in the waves early on. Like these fights are not easy. Like it seems easy now that I'm showing it 2 years later because we have better gear and stuff. But like, yeah, it's like these fights are pretty ridiculous. Like these guys have insane damage. They do crazy damage. Your guys are going to be killed. Like you're going to need revives. Like you're going to be feeling all kinds of kind of oh this sucks, and you're not going to be able to auto because you're going to have to basically fight each thing and try to kill certain heroes first because they're going to do crazy damage. But yeah, I mean, look at this. We're not even really critting a lot, but we're doing reasonable damage. So if you are having trouble in the Doom Tower waves, just know that this team right here is a win. All right. And then if this team is not strong enough because you either A, didn't listen to me in the beginning of the series and build this team, or you just, don't have them built to the point where they're good because you ended up getting focused on other heroes, then just look at the team that's in front of you right now and pick the heroes on your team that do the things that these heroes do. That's it. You just because remember these guys are the rares, the rare versions of everything, and there are heroes that do exactly what they do and more. So you just replace them. All right, that's all you got to do. We'll look at some things. I'll show you what I mean. So right here, look at Kale doing 682,000. So yeah, this is it. This is all you need to get through Doom Tower normal. All right. And I just mean the wave. We're not talking about bosses. Bosses, you need specific heroes. Well, actually, you can do most of the bosses with you can do Bommel early game with this team. The later Bommel becomes very hard. You would probably, if you wanted to do Templar, you could do that um, for Bommel. Scarab, you only need Jizzo, so that's a sixth hero. Who else is it? You just need a provoker, I guess. There's other ways to do it, but you could use provokers for Magma Dragon. So you're probably gonna end up building Greybeard, who's farmable. You could literally just build him, and if you get Master Butcher, that would be great. So yeah, I mean, like there's probably about a solid 10. I'm gonna say 10 to 12 heroes that you can beat normal Doom Tower with. Like it won't be the most optimal situation. Like you're not gonna be like you're gonna be fighting probably the boss, like the spider boss with Armorger to kill him instead of HP burn, unless you get Drex. But like, there's tons of uncommon heroes and regular heroes that you can literally get through Doom Tower with, and really have very little pushback. It's not going to be, like I said, it's not going to be the optimal thing. It's not going to be like, oh, we're going to beat it in 5 minutes. Like, no, you're gonna. My first fight against the Frost Spider was literally 20 minutes long, guys. All right, like 20 minutes, and that was because it was my first fight and this is the final boss, not the lower tiers. We're talking the highest end spider, ice spider. All right, 20 minutes it took me to beat it. So don't think you're going to be the best person ever, right off the cuff. If once you get Drex and you start getting some other heroes, Syl, like there's going to be heroes that make this much easier to get through. But in the beginning, this is it. This is what you're going to use. You're going to use these guys. All right. So yeah, that's basically what we're working on. We're going to get through some Doom Tower. We're going to do some of this fusion stuff, and hopefully we get some free things. Maybe we'll have those heroes, and then we'll also maybe we'll get something better from summoning. I'd like to get a I want to get Banshee is really what I want. We need Banshee. That's my goal now. We're gonna have a Banshee summoning party. I'm gonna save up 1,000 mystery shards and see if we can get Banshee from it. All right, so yeah, that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, comments, things you want to talk about, feel free to leave a comment. You can like, share, subscribe. You help the channel grow, and we also do a live stream every single week. And you can become a member for $1.99 a month if you want, and that will get you some perks. You get to see the videos as soon as I post them, rather than waiting, and you get one free video a week, which is commercial free. So that's for you guys. And it's mostly just behind the scenes things, me leveling like little stuff. It's not like it's going to be any crazy information that you're missing out on. So, but yeah, I would definitely appreciate it. And you can help support the channel. All right. So yeah, this is the Halloween Fusion fun time with Doom Tower. This is Mobile Gamer Nerd. And you guys take care.